as I started to explore that, I started to understand, okay, wait a minute. There is a big shift that's taking place in my field. I'm able to change my karmic patterns, heal myself, transform things, attract things, and it's all based on these energy bodies. It does not have to do as much as my physical mind or me doing stuff here. It is setting up the energy field in order to do stuff on the physical reality. And that's when I was like, okay, so I got to pave the wave energetically and then take action. Because for the first 4 or 5 years, I was sitting in meditation. It's like, okay, God, give me a piece of gold, gold to drop on my lap, going into this deep meditative state completely in that realm. And it was like, do you guys have money up there? Like, no. Then why are you guys always telling me what to do and where to go? And I got like really angry. I got really upset because they're like, we don't even understand the concept of money. It does not exist in our dimension. This is a responsibility of the 3D reality where you have to take responsibility of this. I was like, okay, wait a minute. So you guys up there tell us what to do here. We listen, but you don't understand our reality? Like, no. Your reality is responsibility is to send energy up and to receive. Their responsibility is to send energy down. So we have to be responsible for this dimension and take action, the proper action, and respect this dimension that we came here for, and the higher dimension to merge it and still operate there while we are here. And that for me, like, okay, I gotta close the gap. I have to start creating things in this physical reality because I piled about over $150,000 of credit card debt while I was sitting and meditating for 4 years because I was like flipping credit cards. It's like, okay, I understood the system. I'm going to meditate. God is going to give it to me. No, no, no. God's going to give you what you go and work for. So that was my whole thing. And I was like, okay, I got to start doing physical work as well as my spiritual work. And when I started to do spiritual work back then, I just didn't feel right charging people money at all. Like it did not resonate with me. I was like, well, God has everything for free. I was like, I must do everything for free too. And I had to change that belief within myself. It's like, okay, it has to be an equal exchange. So it has to be balanced to the reality that we're in. And those are still belief systems that we have to overcome. So there was a lot of work that I was doing throughout these years within internally in order to get to where I'm at. So it is a journey of merging several dimensions into oneness.
Okay, so I want to get back to those blue beings in a sec, but I just want to there's an observation I've had about, because I often see in comments how people go, well, how come this person charges for this service? If they're so spiritual, why don't they just do it for free?
Yeah.
And I, there was a little while ago, there was my wife wanted me to pick up a table from a lady who had a table that she was letting go on Facebook Marketplace. And she said something very interesting about it when I got there, which was that she really just wanted to sell, to just let it go for free. But she always found that whenever it was for free, people would not show up. They would like say they were coming at a certain time and turn up much later. And so she just found that when people don't have anything invested in it, they don't value it. And I think that's true for everything. It's like, there's got to be this exchange of value. And if there is no exchange of value, then we just don't value it at all. And I think for that reason alone is the reason why that a lot of, spiritual teachers should charge. And the more value they provide, I think they should charge actually more than what they should. It's nothing to do with, okay, they're a spiritual person. It's more about, well, what's the fair value, exchange of value that's going on here?
You are correct, Rod.
Mm.
I started to explore is like, what is money? What is money? Money, because there's always an exchange of something. Money is actually emotion. So when we exchange, people become emotionally involved, and when they're emotionally involved, they will do the things that they need to. If they're not emotionally involved, they're like they have no connection. When we're in a relationship, we're emotionally involved. When we are doing work, we're emotionally involved. So money is actually what we did. We took that energy of emotion and we translated it into money.
All right. So Can you just introduce us to the blue beings? Because they popped into the story, but how did you first encounter who are they? Tell us about those.
So the blue beings, there were several different ones, but the primarily ones were the Palladian consciousness. It was a council. I started to work with different councils. When that name came up, I was a council, and I started to just venture out into these places. If you set the intention, you'll be able to go to those different dimensions. And usually, they're energetic councils that will be representing that frequency vibration. So I started to work with them, and then I started to work with the Elohimic consciousness. They are the ones who started to teach me about the purity of the perfect atom, of the perfect atom species of humans. And the Palladians started to show me the energy bodies and how they operate, and how we as humans are going back to activate our astral body so we can fully understand of what's taking place in this dimension, because we are not fully activated as humans. We're only operating at a 10% capacity of our true selves. So it's like, what does that mean, 10% capacity? That means that our energy field expands 50 feet in each direction. So they started to show me how vast our energy fields are, and they would actually clear my energy field so I can become aware of it. So I started to become aware of these spaces so fast, so rapidly, that it was very complex to be outside in the real world. And they started to show me how each energy body has a chakra system, how it relates to the physical body, and how the physical body is the processor of the higher dimensions. So as I started to venture out into these, I started to see, whoa, I have these like programs in them, belief systems in them, emotions in them, uh, pre-programmed beliefs before I even came into here that would say like, okay, at age of 30, you're going to experience um, some sort of a heightened emotion in order for you to be taken to a certain trajectory in life. I was like, okay, wow, this is like really interesting. As I started to learn more and deeper into it, I was like, can we change them? Yeah, they can be changed. Okay. But to a certain degree, but where the soul still is kind of saying the main theme of your experience is this. So these blue beings come in, they are helping me. Why are they helping me? Like, what's the purpose? Then you like, okay, this blue being is actually helping you is because he's sharing the oversoul with you. Whoa, wait a minute. So he is me, he is you, but in a different dimension at a higher frequency. And he has reached that vibration. So now he's going down to everywhere where he exists and assists them. I was like, okay, but how about other blue beings? Can they come? Yeah, they can come. But the main one would be the ones that are you're sharing the oversoul with. Okay, what is the oversoul? Started to venture out into that. It was like the oversoul is something that already gave birth to a self-realized experience. So that is like basically Yashua or Buddha became self-realized and now able to reincarnate itself. And it's such a complex but not a linear explanation. Even this me explaining this is for the physical mind to understand, because it is a timeless system that operates in multidimensionalism. So I started to go deeper into it, and I really started to enjoy. My heart was like, my mind was really operating in that frequency where I really started to kind of just eat that information day in, day out. I started to observe it into the physical reality as well. And then in 2012, uh, I met a few people and they're like, "You have to teach this stuff." I was like, "I have no idea how to teach this stuff. I'm just like, I see it as I go. Like, I look at people, I see what's going on, I share it with you. You ask me a question, I have an answer, but I don't know how to teach." Like, no, 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 no. We're gonna set it up for you. You're gonna teach. I said, "Okay, fine, let's do it." So the first one I did, the first teachings was I had no idea what I was going to be doing. I just came out on a stage, like in front of people, 50 people, and just channeled information. And it was like, we want to learn. I was like, really? And that's when I started to teach. 2014, I started to teach this information of how to organize our energy body. Before that, I was doing healings. Then I stopped doing healings because I noticed that whatever people don't do themselves, the karma always comes back. So I said, okay, I cannot keep doing this because I'm actually picking up pain and I need to help people get back into that space where they can do this themselves. Because the whole thing is that, especially we get into the spiritual path, we go up in vibration, then we fall. How do you get back up? How do you continue that journey where you stay in this balanced state of harmony and not swing from extreme happiness to extreme sadness? So for me, it was like, okay, how do I find a balance? And that was one of the things is like, I have to teach. I cannot do this for the people. I even actually started to play with my kids and started to teach them this stuff from childhood into meditation and everything because this was very important. I felt like this is part of who we are, but we're not connected to that part. We're not taught this. So the blue beings started to come to me, and then as well, they started actually to come through where we would be taken up into a spaceship, and they would actually work on the family. And I would actually see other people that I would work with. They would actually help them out to kind of raise their vibration, their consciousness. So, but not just them. There are so many different species out there of beings that are waiting for this planet to evolve, for the people to evolve. And I think that's one of the things where we are headed as people. Like, I mean, look at what's happened in the past 5 to 10 years. We have a sharp awakening in that direction.
So you were saying they're blue beings. Some of them are actually your oversoul, like a division of that. So it's really you talking to you. Um, so you're actually, I don't know if reincarnation is the right word, but there's different versions of yourself that aren't just human. They're from other
Correct.
places as well.
Well, let's say this is the oversoul. This is me in this life, past life, future life, extraterrestrial self, different extraterrestrial self, but yet we're still sharing the oversoul. And what does that mean? That means that the oversoul doesn't look at anything as good or bad. It just looks at it as experience. It just wants to have different experiences. It's like a sphere with tentacles expressing itself in different dimensions of the universe.
Hmm. So I understand you learned something new about the chakra system that isn't traditionally taught. This from the blue beans. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. So they started to show me the chakra systems in the emotional body, the mental body, the astral body, and how they all operate and connect to the physical body and the meridians of the physical body. And once we start to operate at higher dimension, the 7 chakra systems that we know will become obsolete. They are basically the lowest vibration because these chakra systems on the astral body become merged and they actually divide into 3 major chakra systems in the astral body. So when we do, like, let's say, astral projection or remote viewing, there's so many names for it, but it's all basically utilizing the astral body. So people are actually coming out of their body. They're utilizing the astral space, which it seems that we are really leaving, but we're not going anywhere. We are in our sphere of our auric field, okay, in our electromagnetic field or ether. And that ether, everything is coming to that space. We are not going anywhere. So when you say, I'm going to, let's say, the moon, you're not going to the moon. You're actually bringing the energy of the moon into your field because nothing exists but you. So when we think we're going somewhere or we're traveling somewhere, we're bringing all those things into our field.